What is up, my friend? Welcome to episode number 25 of the Anthony John Amix podcast. This is another Sunday sermon edition, and today's episode is all about getting through hard times. Now, let's be honest. Being human requires us to deal with some crazy shit, and it can be really hard at times, you know what I mean? And so today, I just wanted to talk about why this is and what do we do about it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Anthony John Amix podcast. The one and only podcast designed to help you become unstoppable in life and business. My name is Anthony John Amix. My friends call me AJ. And my goal with this podcast is to help you remember who you truly are so you can maintain your center in the chaos, embody your potential, and unlock freedom in your life and business. That being said, let's get into today's show.
All right, so welcome back. We are officially a quarter of the way to 100 episodes already. Holy shit, how did that happen? Now, it's pretty cool to me because we're already approaching the 1,000 downloads mark, and it's kind of crazy. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to this podcast. And by the way, if you don't know, I'm on Facebook posting all sorts of great stuff that will help you unlock a whole new level of freedom and purpose and success in your life. So you can find me at www.facebook.com/AJ Amix. Again, that's facebook.com/AJ Amix, AMYX. And just connect with me there if you haven't already done so, man. I'd love to just connect with you as a human and post some good content there that seems to serve a lot of people. So if you want to go there, go connect with there. Now, before we hop into today's topic, I want to let you know that today I'm going to be getting real with you. And what I talk about today, it may actually challenge you a bit. And so I'm going to be bringing you some fire, which is one of the things that I love to do. So my challenge to you today is to just listen to this episode with an open mind. Just give yourself permission to really, try on what I'm going to be talking about and bringing to you today. And I'll tell you something else, producing these solo Sunday sermon episodes once a week, I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, it is hard. The resistance is real right now. But I personally just feel really called in this season to be creating this type of content. So for now, I'm just going to stick through it, you know what I mean? I'm just going to accept and embrace this whole resistance when it comes up, and I'm just going to surrender to not knowing, what I'm going to talk about each week, and just surrender to staying in the pocket of some days I don't know, you know what I mean? And I'm just going to stay curious, remain curious, and just stay open, and then from that place, I always hear the answers, and I just share with you. And not only am I getting messages each week from people all around the world thanking me for doing this podcast, but I'm really also facing myself and creating a lot of this content each week. It's there's this battle going on. It's this battle between my mind and my soul. And it's each week, it's who am I going to let win? My mind or my soul? Well, so far, 25 episodes in, I have been letting my soul win. And I just want to be real with you and let you know, man, every single week, man, the struggle is real. And there's a part of me that's known as my mind that says creating this podcast should be easy. Creating this podcast should be an experience of flow, right? Creating this podcast shouldn't be hard. And this, my friend, is the type of thinking that is a dangerous trap if you don't learn how to become aware of it. Now, why am I saying this? Because our minds, our egos would like us to believe in life there shouldn't be any problems. And if we believe in life that there shouldn't be any problems and we are faced with a problem, well, many people start to doubt themselves. They start to doubt their path. They start to believe that something is wrong with them. After all, spiritual people are supposed to be in flow all of the time, right? Jesus was perfect, so we should be perfect too. Buddha, right? That guy, he didn't have any problems. He was just unattached to any outcome, and he experienced peace, and he teaches the path to enlightenment, right? See, the problem with believing in this idea that in life there shouldn't be any problems is it's bullshit. Because in life there will be problems, period. Life is full of problems. And last week I talked about how resistance makes the game worth playing. And if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to episode number 24, right? So let's take that statement, resistance makes the game worth playing. Let's take that statement further this week, okay? So here we go. Problems make the game of life worth playing. And if you're open, I'll have you consider the bigger the problems you face in life, the more the quality of a life you will have to experience. You see, our minds, our egos, they feed us this lie that in life we shouldn't experience problems, but this lie from your ego is a trap to keep you separated from your soul, from your source, from God, universe, whatever name you want to call it. And if you don't stop believing your mind, your ego, you're going to constantly be unhappy and unfulfilled because you will be on this pursuit for a life of no problems. And it's an illusion. It's an illusion our minds and our egos have fed humanity with for far too long. Now, this podcast is all about destroying that type of thinking and really tapping into a new level of power so you can unlock that next level of freedom and purpose and success in your own life, whatever that is for you. So let's dive into some scripture to make sense of this. Plus, I'm going to be diving into a few things I've recently been learning from Werner Erhard. So let's just start with the Bible first. In 2 Timothy 1, verse 7, it says, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." You know, I've experienced time and time again when people tap into this spirit that God gave humans, which is what the Apostle Paul was writing about here, what I found is people experience power. And in this context, I will define power as one's ability to choose whatever outcome it is that they desire to choose. Like, to me, power is that simple choice, right? And the only place that I've found to have access to that kind of pure, limitless power is in the spirit. Now, you can call the spirit chi or energy or prana or vibes, like whatever name or whatever works for you. It's all good with me. Yet the reality is when you get out of your mind and into the spirit, possibilities open up for you. Like, I know this. I've witnessed this, not just for myself, but for a lot of other humans as well. I personally witnessed this at my quarterly event called The Uprising. I witnessed this in each and every in-person intensive I host for a client. I witnessed this in pretty much every single one of my coaching calls. Like, possibilities open up when people get out of their heads and into their spirit. Now, this may sound all new age and woo-woo-y and bullshit, right? Yet if you're open, I'm here to tell you it's real. And I'll tell you why. In a book called Speaking Being, which is a transcription from this event back, I think, from 1984 or 85 or 89 or something, it was an event that Werner Erhard had led for many, 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 many years. He talks about how problems don't exist outside the context of human language. Now, hang with me here for a second and let me see if I can help land this concept for you. Where do problems exist? Like, really? Like, if you say something shouldn't or should be, or that it wouldn't or would be, or that it couldn't or could be, where does it exist? Like, can you point to where that problem exists? So I'm going to read a bit from the book Speaking Being for a moment, just because they did an amazing job to help make sense of this, and I really don't want to mess it up. So I'm just going to totally read from the book. So here we go. A problem seems to occur in the world, doesn't it? Like, think of your problem. Somehow the problem is out there, and that's what makes it so difficult to deal with. It's out of your control. And out there, where it lives, is very big. And fundamentally, that's the thing that makes people ineffective with problems, because problems don't occur out there. There are no problems as problems out there. I've got cancer. It's in my body. The cancer may be in your body, but the problem you got with cancer isn't in your body. Or, my car is a piece of crap. Well, that's a real problem for me. Well, there's no problem with your car. The cancer as a problem, your car as a problem, your children as a problem are not out there. Problems do not occur in the world as problems. Rocks do not have problems. Even the ones that kicked and fall down the hill, that is not a problem for the rock. See, you can't point to where problems are. Like, take a shot. I'm not saying there are no problems. There are problems. They just don't occur out there. Instead, they occur in your speaking and your listening. Or more rigorously, problems are languaging. If there is no languaging, there are no problems. The home of problems is in languaging. The home of reality for life, for human beings, is in languaging. The occurrence of quote-unquote problems occurs in languaging. Rocks don't speak and listen, and so they don't have the problems human beings have as problems. Like, is this making sense for you? So let me go deeper for you. All humans are born into this languaging, and it is this languaging that gives you your life, your reality, and your problems. And problems do exist in life. Normally, the more successful you are, the more problems you have to solve on a daily basis. And the more money you make, typically the bigger the problem you have to solve. Like, this is true. Problems are real. Problems exist. Okay, cool. But where do problems exist? Well, we've already learned from Werner Erhard in the book Speaking Being that problems exist in our languaging, but where in our languaging? And that's a great question. And Werner goes on to answer this question. If you're open, I'll have you consider that problems exist inside your languaging of shouldn't be. Shouldn't be is the context in which problems exist for human beings. Now, what does this have to do with getting through hard times? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. In Speaking Being, Werner proposes a philosophy that human beings are more committed to their reasons than their results. He proposes this is not the case in animals, but in the beingness of being human, this is true. Now, think about it for a second. For the majority of humans, this is true. Like, fuck, man, it's like true for me at times. Now, let me give you a few examples from my own life. Being a husband, a dad, and a business owner shouldn't be this hard. Or I want to work out 5 days a week, but I don't want to take time away from my wife. Or I want to get this podcast promoted properly, but I don't have the time right now. Like, these three examples are all reasons. These three examples are problems. These three examples are problems in the context of these things shouldn't be happening. And if you're open, I'll have you consider one of the reasons we have a difficult time getting through hard times is because we fall into the trap that our egos have created that in life there shouldn't be any problems. But the thing with life is there will be problems, period. And the faster we simply accept this as it is, the faster we take back the power that we have as a human being to choose what we want. But the problem with problems is the majority of humanity is more committed to their reasons rather than their results. You see, most people would rather spend their time justifying or rationalizing or defending why they shouldn't or maybe they should have a quote unquote problem. Like, I've seen people spend weeks doing this. I've seen people spend months doing this. I've seen people spend years doing this. And some people are so committed to their reasons that they spend their entire lives doing this. And they never take back their power to choose. And instead, they die living a life unfulfilled. Now, that's not you. That's not why you listen to this podcast. You are one of the few. You're one of the few who's willing to take responsibility. You're one of the few who is willing to leverage your ability to respond to life. And for this, my friend, I thank you for being here with me in this episode. So what are we to do? How are we supposed to get through hard times? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Choose to tap into the spirit that God gave us through breath work or meditation or moving our bodies. I mean, there are so many paths up the mountain to connecting to our spirits. And then once you connect to your spirit, then getting through hard times comes down to a simple choice. Are you going to give your time and energy to your reasons and choose not to participate in life as a powerful creator? Or are you going to participate fully in life as a powerful creator? Are you willing to tap into your ever-flowing spirit to rise above your reasons and your bullshit justifications and defensiveness of your ego and accept the problem for what it is, which is feedback, and in the next moment, do something to move you in the direction of your desires. And each moment, you have the ability to choose, moment by moment by moment. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. I mean, this can be hard at times. Yet if we're committed to our results, then it's actually pretty simple. Again, not easy, but simple. Seeing a problem as it is, a problem, and then choosing to do something about it is simple to do and also simple not to do. And lots of people don't want to do this because they're more committed to their reasons than their results, and I get it. Many of them get a huge payoff in being committed to their reasons. It's actually pretty sneaky. It's actually a form of self-sabotage a bit. Now, let me give you an example. A person wants to lose weight, but they keep getting sick, right? It's like no matter how much they want to work out, they keep getting a lung infection or allergies or herniated discs, like start acting up, right? It's like no matter how much in their mind they want to lose the weight, the person is always saying, I want to work out, but my back hurts. Or I want to work out, but my allergies are acting up. Or I want to work out, but my lungs have an infection, right? And in this languaging, this person has a problem. This person wants to work out, but ... reason. And this person, by the way, has a real problem on hand, right? They want to work out, but ... like they have a real problem. And the truth in this person's languaging, they are at the effect of the but, whatever that is, right? Are you seeing this? Are you catching this? Are you getting what I'm putting down here, right? I want to work out, but my back hurts. They're at the effect of my back hurting. Or I want to work out, but my allergies are acting up. They're at the effect of allergies. You catching this? You get it. Now, Einstein is quoted as saying, the world that we have made as a result of the level of thinking we have done thus far creates problems that we cannot solve at the same level we created them at. Now, this saying from Einstein makes a lot of sense to me personally because of the law of being. And I've talked about the law of being a lot on this podcast. Honestly, I'm kind of a nut about it. The law of being states that the world will give you exactly that which you are at your core, and your core consists of your thoughts and the feelings that you hold on to predominantly. So let's get back to this person who has a problem with their health and their fitness. At their core, they're being a victim. They are at the effect of the but ... whatever comes after the but. Now, is this true? Well, for that person in that languaging, it is true. And as a result, if they attempt to solve that problem from that core place, from that way of being, it's fucking futile. Like, it can't happen. To do so would be an attempt to defy the law of being, which is a universal law that governs this planet we call Earth. Now, I don't know anything about other planets. Maybe it's different there. I don't know. But I do know Earth, and you're not defying the law of being here. It's like attempting to defy the law of gravity. Not happening. So this person has a choice. Do they want to be committed to their reasons of why they're not going to work out? Or do they want to be committed to their results of working out and being healthy and fit? Well, if they're truly committed to their health, they would choose results and they would drop the word but from the equation. In linguistics, which is a scientific study of language and its structure, the word but negates anything that precedes it. And this is why this person feels stuck. In science, an equal and opposite force creates a force of stuckness. Do you get that? An equal and opposite force creates a force of stuckness. Now, let's go back to this person's quote-unquote problem. I want to work out, but my back hurts. So this person wants to work out, which is a force, but my back hurts. This is the equal and opposite force of the statement. So the statement is fucking bullshit. It's a commitment to one's reasons. Now, it is true that this person wants to work out. Okay, so it is. That is true. And it is true that this person's back hurts. Okay, so it is true. When we accept what is, we start to open up a possibility of becoming a cause instead of the effect. When we accept what is, we start to open up the possibility of becoming a creator who fully participates in this game of life. And when we accept what is, we start to open up the possibility to being committed to our results rather than our reasons. So if we change the but to and, now we have a new possibility to look at, and from that place of what is. So let's look at this. I want to work out, and my back hurts. Okay, so it is. And from this place, the question becomes, what do you choose? Do you choose to find a way to work out that allows you to work out like a walk or water aerobics or whatever could be a potential solution to the problem? Like, I'm completely unattached to the solution. Now, this takes some time, and this is a simple quote-unquote problem, but I'm using this as an illustration. I hope this is making sense for you. In the book Speaking Being, Wes, who seems to be one of the trainers in the book, says, anytime you find yourself stuck, not moving, that's bullshit. You've lied. The stuck is a lie. It's not about taking every but out of your language. It's about appreciate what you're presenting in the problem with but or whatever you use. Whenever you try to make things opposing and put yourself at the effect of them, there's a lie there, and you're the one doing it. And the lie is that you're not doing it. The lie is you're not doing it when you really are, that's the lie. Nothing is inherently stuck in life. Life's moving along just fine, right? That's what Wes was talking about. Now, I love this because this means we're all the cause of our results in this life or the lack thereof. Like if we choose to be the cause, if we choose to fully participate in this life, we are the cause. Now, I get it. Maybe you're like, but AJ, like, what about the child born into starving country? Or what about the baby born with cancer? Or whatever extreme thing that you could devise to keep this truth from landing for you. So let me be clear. I'm not saying these children or people created that. I'm saying it happened. So it is. And as shitty as it is, like it is. And I get that in the statement, I'm not having empathy or compassion. I'm very aware of that. And that's not how I'd normally respond to somebody if they were experiencing some type of hardship. But this isn't like about hugs and kisses and rainbows and butterflies. This is about getting you like a fucking result and unlocking like a new level of purpose, a new level of existence, a new level of success. This is like me answering and showing up in a fucking coaching capacity. Like the purpose of this podcast is to help you unlock a new level of freedom, purpose, and success in your life. And the only way that I know how to do that is to bring the fire to you as much as I humanly can. And if this is serving you, fantastic, wonderful. If it's not, cool, no problems. I know those who have eyes to see and those who have ears to hear will see and hear. So I'm not concerned with the likes and the shares of this podcast. So understand, any energy we give to justifying or defending or rationalizing is keeping us from our ability to choose, which gives us the power to make the most of this experience of being human for however long that is. And look, I could dive so much deeper into why people justify or defend or rationalize. Like we all do it on one level or another. It's part of the human experience. Yet what I'm bringing to you today is the possibility to see problems for what they are. And if you get this, I know it will empower you to get through the hard times. Like back in 2011, man, I was going through the fucking ringer. And thankfully, Tony Robbins taught me the quality of our questions determines the quality of our lives through his book, Awakening the Giant Within. I personally found a lot of truth and a lot of power in that statement because if you ask empowering questions, you get empowering answers. If you ask disempowering questions, you get disempowering answers. You know, Jesus says something like, ask and it shall be given unto you, knock and the door shall be open, seek and you shall find. So you better become extremely aware of what doors you're knocking on because you may open up one to find, fuck, yeah, I didn't want that answer. So coming back to the original problem that we were using to illustrate this concept, I want to work out, but my back hurts. If this person started asking questions like, well, why does my back always hurt? I guarantee you their mind will find answers and it was going to keep them from working out over and over again, right? Yet if they would take the time to see the problem for what it is, I want to work out and my back hurts. Okay, it is. All right. And they start asking empowering questions like, I wonder how I could work out today. I wonder how I could make that happen today. Like if they stay with that type of question long enough, they will find an answer to get their workout in and move one step closer to creating the results they seek. So I'm going to wrap this up by reading you a bit more from the book Speaking Being. In life, there are problems. Not life's about no problems when problems shouldn't be. The conclusion is that a great life is a life without problems. That's nonsense. A life without problems is a lousy life. It's a stinky life. Powerful people are judged by their problems. The problem with you is your problems are small and crappy. You're boring. Go take on more responsibility and have a lot more problems. Then you'd be interesting to talk to. That's the problem. You're resisting the very thing that gives life its whole excitement. Problems. Because they shouldn't be. In the quote from Speaking Being. So the way to transform that is to confront each of your problems and the whole distinction of a quote unquote problem and put them in a context of in life, there are problems. Like, man, this whole conversation today, man, has me so fired up. And I remember reading this like excerpt or this book, you know, Speaking Being, and man, I was just fucking pumped. I was like, yes, bring on the problems. Let's do this. So I hope this episode is serving you and getting your gears turning and offering you a new way of being and being the cause in your life instead of the effect. If you truly get what I've shared with you today, I know that you're going to find a new level of power to get through any hard times you face in this life, and you'll become a powerful creator who's fully participating in this game of being a human being. And as a result, you'll unlock a new level of freedom, purpose, and success. And if you don't get what I've shared with you today, I know you'll stay stuck and constantly feel like you're at the effect of life. Remember, my friend, you are the cause for your life experience. So my invitation to you this day is this. Where in your life are you more committed to your reasons than your results? And what may be possible for you if you simply choose to drop your reasons, to drop your justifications, to drop your defensiveness, and simply choose to accept what is? And from that place, look at it objectively and choose to fully participate as a creator of your life and your results. So my friend, that's going to do it for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast. One of the biggest bummers about this podcast is it's typically about 30 minutes to an hour long-ish, give or take, right? And sometimes, and I'd argue most times, we get into these big conversations and these big topics, but we have to cut them short or we just can't explore them all the way because I'm not willing to do a 4-hour podcast. I'm just not willing to do that. And today we talked about how most people are more committed to their reasons than their results, and how if you shift that, well, then you gain a new level of power that allows you to get through hard times. And I definitely know there's a lot more that we could talk about on the subject. So the good news is I created a nice free online training about the ancient keys entrepreneurs are using to scale their business, lead their teams, and experience fulfillment. And during that training, you'll learn the 3 ancient secrets that are vital to unlocking a new level of freedom, purpose, and success for you. So if you want in on that free training, simply head over to trainingwithaj.com and you can just grab a spot. And once you do, you'll have instant access to the training. There's no waiting or anything like that. I like keeping things simple. So just go to www.trainingwithaj.com to get access to that training right now. So thank you so much, my friend, for tuning in today. I know today's topic, it may have ruffled a few feathers. I know it was a deep conversation. You may have to go back and listen to this a couple times, but I really hope that this conversation has served you. Because I know when I first learned and accepted this concept, man, it really opened up and gave me this entirely new level of being responsible for my results in my life. And it just really opened up just a lot more I don't know how to say it, just goodness, I guess is the only way I could say it. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day or night or afternoon, depending on when you're listening to this episode. So until next time, my friend, I'm out. Peace.
Well, that's all I've got for this episode of the Anthony John Amix podcast, but we have plenty more to help you become unstoppable in life and business. So head on over to ajamix.com for exclusive resources, information, and tools to help you break through to a new level of freedom, purpose, and success. I look forward to having you back for the next episode. Bye for now.